Every day we bring you the hottest music. Ultimate music It's some outrageous conversations.
So are you saying Namibian men were not romantic?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Huh?
Yes.
Why? What are the values of Namibian men? Is there anything good about us?
Yeah, I'm striking up.
She is striking a blank.
You know what?
Let's get to the real thing. The mornings on Informanté Radio. The sound for a new age.
The future, it belongs to the dreamers. The dreamers who are willing to stand up and be counted. The dreamers who are willing to be laughed at for their ambitions. The dreamers who are willing to fail for that one chance at success. For those dreamers, there's Business Shield, because protecting your business is our business.
Business Shield covers your business against labor-related matters, offers back office support, free funeral cover for you and your employees, debt collection services, and much more. For more information, SMS business to 31844 today and we'll contact you. Standard SMS rates. T's and C's apply.
I have a dream.
A teacher's influence is forever. Look around you. The oldest buildings are still standing. Ancient math theories are probably more useful today. Remember your teacher's role in your passion? Of course you do, because a teacher's influence is forever. Become the power of forever in a child's life today with affordable, flexible, NQA accredited education qualifications on 100% financing. SMS EDU to 711 to make education the greatest equalizer with the Institute for Open Learning. IOL.
The views and opinions expressed on the radio program by the guests, advertisers, news bulletins, call-in listeners, or chatters are solely the views and opinions of the source who express them. They do not necessarily reflect the opinions and the views of Trustco Group International, the broadcast regulators in Namibia, or that of the Informanté radio station.
This is Informanté Radio, the sound for a new age.
Now come into washenzi hawajui mapenzi hawajui ukweli watazame kwa mbali na hatujali sisi ni wakali nipe mkono twende mbele usijali washenzi hawajui mapenzi hawajui ukweli watazame kwa mbali na hatujali sisi ni wakali It's calling out to you, my baby, for your love. Hey, hey, now come and do my side. Can you taste my lips, starving for your love? Hey, hey, listen to my heart. It's calling out to you, beating for your love. Hey, hey, hey.
That's right. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Mix 824 op 'n Woensdagoggend. Sounds of DJ K-Boss and Chikune with Musuverwa. Moro moro.
Musuverwa boy, Musuverwa.
Waar kry jy dit toch, man?
Woensdag. Das sê.
Moro moro.
Wat ben jy nou?
No, ben jy?
Na.
Yes.
Waarom ben jy away?
It's been cold for the past 2 days.
What is going on?
Winter is, I don't know. Winter is supposed to be going, but it's coming, it seems.
Yeah, Maria, just for everybody who don't know, Maria just quickly went home. She was here this morning.
Yes.
But Maria quickly went home to go and put on other clothes.
Because she's wearing
she's wearing the same clothes that she was wearing yesterday.
When she comes, please ask her, where did she sleep?
She just came apparently from Katutura again. Somebody on the stream spotted this. Okay? So, Maria's net go is toe. She does not stay very far from here.
So she's no net terug.
Sy no go join toe gegaan. So she'll come back. Okay, sorry toch, we have a guest in the studio.
Asseblief.
Sorry toch.
Asseblief. Right now, there was a competition running on air about 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks, yes. When I was on leave. Start Safe competition. And we did announce yesterday that we were going to have the winner in studio with us. She has become quite a regular on the stream on the Morning Mix. Neville, jy wil ons nog gevra wat is haar naam. So kom ek los dit maar vir jou.
Okay, good morning guest.
Good morning Neville.
Yeah. And maybe guest, you must just introduce yourself because we don't want to be accused of slinging your name here on air, or slaying your name here on air. So can you just give us your name and your surname so that we can get this thing out of the way?
Okay. My name is Regine Mushimba.
Okay.
Not Regina. Not Lechina. So all those comments, I saw them yesterday. It's Regine, guys.
Regine Mushimba.
Yeah.
Regine, tell us a little bit more about yourself. You say you from Arandas?
Yes. I'm originally from Arandes, and I just came here for the purposes of school. I went to NAST.
Okay.
Yeah, so I came here 2015, and then I finished 2018, and then I got an internship at City of Windhoek. Yeah, property division. So I've been there as an intern for 3 years now.
Ish, progressive.
So if we want land, we must come to your office.
No.
Well, thank you for joining us this morning. Do you regularly watch the morning mix?
Yeah, I watch it every morning, if not every. Okay, at least 4 times in a week.
Oh, that's good enough.
Yeah.
That does it for us, I believe. That really does it for us. And when this competition came about, you just decided to start Antoning the whole... because you were such a big Anton.
It's like a start safe.
Start safe.
No, the thing is, I saw people commenting start safe. I didn't know about it. So I'm like, guys, what is this start safe thing? No one is answering, so I decided start safe.
Let me start safe mine also.
I figured it should be a competition, so I just also started.
So you just went with the flow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Now, Regine, do you have a dual SIM card phone?
No, I have 2 phones.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 2 phones, an MTC and TN Mobile.
Does your boyfriend know that you have 2 phones?
Yes, he knows.
He knows. Where is he? Is he here or in Narandas?
He's here in Windhoek.
Aye, yes. Man!
Maybe you should give her the SIM card with a phone.
No.
Regine, you know what? And this was obviously a request that came from some of our viewers and our listeners out there who said, you know what? You guys have been supporting us for such a long time. And every morning, everybody... And you guys are logging in and you watch the stream and you give your support to us. And once again, you guys must understand one thing. You guys are the oxygen of this show.
Exactly.
Without you guys, we are nothing. And as a token to give back to you guys, and that is why we started to, we're going to be running competitions on a regular basis on the show. And you are the first winner. Of our weekly competitions, and you walk away with a whopping 48 gigs of mahala airtime.
Really?
Yeah.
Data.
Or data.
Oh, okay.
On behalf of TN Mobile, and we just want to congratulate you today.
Yes, just
thank you.
To make it a bit easier for you to watch the show every morning.
Yeah.
We're giving you a free data. And just by the way, one of the other regulars on the show, Mr. Ro Vieira, is saying, Regine, take off the mask so we know who to ask for hotspot.
Ro is always on my case. I don't know why.
Is it? Yeah. So Regine, obviously, we don't want to keep you here for too long.
Yes.
Once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
You walk away with a whopping 48 gigabytes. I almost said 400. So that's 8 gigabytes per week that you are bagging.
For 6 months, right?
For 6 months. It's long.
So that's still next year.
You don't have to buy data again. Let's just put it that way.
And that boyfriend of yours, whoever he is, you don't let him use your data.
No, I have to hotspot.
So, Regine, without further ado, on behalf of, is it Trustco Finance? No, it's not Trustco Finance. It's
of the Trasco group of companies.
Yes, from the Trasco group of companies. We would just like to present this to you. I did saturnize my hands.
Okay.
My hands are satanized.
All right.
Okay. So on behalf of us, we would just like to say congratulations.
And thank you for watching.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy this. And please follow our stream. Maybe you will be
the other winner again.
Yeah.
Yes. And please remember, Start Save was not just a competition. It is actually one of the most awesome
Trasco
products
Insurance, eh?
that comes out of Trasco Insurance.
Oh.
So yeah, if you want to start saving up for whatever it is that you need in the future, just start saving.
All right.
Yeah.
Trasco Insurance. Trasco Insurance. Trasco Insurance.
I see the AEs there like, hey, insurance.
Trasco Life. Trasco Life. Trasco Life. On behalf of Trasco Life, we would just like to say thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
Enjoy your prize.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy your prize.
All right.
Are there any other more comments just before she leaves?
There are always a lot of comments.
Yeah. Let's hear what they say about Regine.
Is that Regina that brought the coldness?
Yeah, it's her.
Yeah. Regine, what a nice name. Us Damaras will call you Regina. And my father's side, Legina. Man. Yeah. No, like she can go read the comments, most. Are you gonna join the stream when you?
Yeah, immediately when I get to the office.
Since da.
So
right.
Maria can come back and be like,
yeah.
Can I be honest, guys? She's always starting like that. Can I be honest, guys?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's how Maria always starts the conversation. Okay.
Yeah. So Maria's, can I be honest? Nevertheless, I watched this movie.
This film.
Yeah, this film.
Yeah, I watched this film.
We still need to figure out me.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you for joining us.
All right.
Have a wonderful day.
Okay, don't walk with those.
Oh.
That's it.
I didn't even realize. Oh man! All right,
thanks, Regine.
You can also be a lucky winner who might get to join us in studio one of these days. We're always running some interesting competitions, whether it's here on the show or the Informanté Radio post. Right, radio page, come a post. All right, and Maria's back in the studio.
With the same clothes.
Yeah.
Now, what did you go do at home?
Or did you go change your hot pants or what?
We have
I did.
We have a bunch of bullies. We have a bunch of bullies in the comment sections.
Is it?
I'm wearing the same clothes. It's
Maria, why are you wearing the same clothes? Okay, guys. Before we dive into the conversation, let's quickly do the things that needs to get done. Ella, close my door, man.
Hey, patam here, man.
Hey, rookies. The current COVID-19 situation around the country, coronavirus cases, the total caseload for Namibia currently stands at 4,464, 37 deaths, 2,407 recoveries. At the moment, active cases, 2,020. So yeah, our recovery rate is starting to really move.
So the current, it's what? It's 2020.
2020, yes.
I'm Kurwa.
Our current active cases are 2020.
Karosnet double.
Karosnet double. So
Almost blended that.
Come on, nails for 2021 to gaan.
Can I be honest? That's how I start. Can I be honest? Because I'm apparently usually dishonest. It's minute double.
2020. But yeah, that's what the situation looks like. Of course, I think at this point in time, there's no questioning it. Windhoek is the current epicenter. Most of the new infections are coming out of the Namibian capital. More and more businesses, more and more companies inside Windhoek or in Windhoek reporting cases and either partial or complete closures due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So yeah, if you thought the situation was not serious, well, it's serious now.
It is serious. Okay, while Maria is typing,
Maria.
let's quickly talk about Champions League football last night. Ho.
I know you guys wanted to start with your football.
Yeah.
So
I didn't even watch
quickly.
soccer.
So PSG played against Leipzig last night. And wow, 3-0 for PSG.
For Paris Saint-Germain, yeah.
So they are in the Champions League final.
Yep.
Okay. So tonight it's going to be Olympic Lyon against
Bayern.
the Deutsche Maschinenfabrik.
The juggernaut.
The juggernaut. Vorsprung die Technik. Bayern München. So we do foresee that Bayern Munich and PSG will be in the final. But what a game it was last night. But I think PSG won the game quite comfortably last night. Neymar and Mbappe and what is the Argentinian boy's name?
Cavani?
No, not Cavani. Cavani wasn't there.
Di Maria.
Di Maria. Yeah, he scored. Di Maria scored one of the goals.
Okay.
But well-marshaled team. But I think on what we saw last night, let's see how the Germans play tonight. But as much as I want PSG to win this, because I don't want the Germans to win this, but I think the Germans is going to be too strong for them.
I also think so. I mean, the only reason why I'm still having some affinity towards Bayern Munich is because they have a Namibian flag in the stadium.
Is it?
Yes, and that for me is... Yeah.
Where did you see that?
Yeah, I've watched Bayern games.
And they have a Namibian flag
in the stadium. Yeah,
constantly.
Something said Namibia. Yeah, like it's written in German, so I don't really
understand.
Wow,
nice, man. So they think there's a chance that they will not pay reparations just because they have a flag. We are not fooled.
Yeah, but I doubt PSG will be strong enough to deal with this Bayern team. It's probably going to be one of those high-scoring finals.
It will be a high-scoring final.
Yeah, so it should be. It should be an interesting match. When is the final? Over the weekend?
Sunday night.
Okay.
Is jy klaar?
Ons is klaar. Is jy klaar?
Yeah, I was actually reading up more about. I wanted to see if there was any follow-up on the Mali coup d'état.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so Ibrahim. It's the second one. It's the second one. I mean, 2012 Mali also there was a coup d'état. And now another one, so interesting times. But
it's kind of Maria. It's kind of I don't know if a country like France should take the moral high ground by condemning any coups. Them being the colonizer of West Africa.
I don't trust any Western outside it. Any Western country coming in to condemn anything that happens in Africa, because we all know it's always politics. There's always an agenda. It's always what they can benefit.
Interest.
It's always self-interest. But yeah, I guess we shouldn't be surprised with the Mali coup. I mean, if you've been following the news since last year, you could have probably reached the conclusion that this was going to happen soon.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we pray stuff like that doesn't happen.
We hope for peace in that country. I know that the president has opted to step away. Babakar, he's decided to peacefully, so that there's no bloodshed. We hope that he maintains the same energy and that there are no loss of lives in this power struggle. That's what I call them, right? Coup d'etats are literally power struggles.
Yep.
So yeah, all the best to the people of Mali.
Taking over by force.
And it just seems like that with every coup that happens in Africa. If you have the army on your side, you will take over the country. And we saw that with Robert Mugabe about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When
that was I know that was a coup, but that was a very
No. There was a warning to Mugabe.
Yeah, there was mere a warning.
Yeah.
Sign the warning letter.
Salji Khan.
A soft coup.
Yeah,
it was a very soft
coup. It was a very soft coup, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of wishful thinking, the SADC community, SADC leaders also were meeting over the weekend yesterday.
What are they conspiring?
Anyway, like the most interesting thing was,
they were applauding Mnangagwa.
That's what I wanted.
For his leadership. in Zimbabwe. Viva SADC. SADC Viva. For applauding the leadership of Mnangagwa. How do we do stuff like that?
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Yeah,
That's all I can say.
Like I'm always considered to be the counterproductive one. So come lost ma.
No, what's a samko? No,
when it comes to Zimbabwe on the Sam.
What's a rera? What's a sam? What's a sam? It is pathetic.
It is ridiculous though.
We laugh about it, but it's really just so that we don't cry.
It is an insult to the people of Zimbabwe for anybody to be saying that. I mean, if you know what the situation in Zimbabwe actually is, which I'm assuming our leaders do know, it's
you know what? Does it often feel like they don't want to? It feels like a boys' club, right? And nobody wants to speak up against the other in case they're dealing with their own stuff and they need that support as well. So it's very, I think, a very insincere way of living where it's more what I can do for you, than really correcting and coming to you correct and helping you and assisting you and letting you see where you are wrong.
I don't think we've had a situation where they openly criticized one of them.
Never.
I mean, even when Zimbabwe was at its worst stage, when the Zimbabwean people were basically at the end of their tether, SADC leaders still stood behind Mugabe.
No, look, now here's the funny thing. When I say they never speak up against their own, you had Mugabe, and they loved Mugabe.
Uncle Bob.
Our politicians love Mugabe, and they loved Mugabe. And then there was the coup d'etat, and then we had your favorite, Mr. Crocodile, and they were like, we wish you the best. Like, wouldn't that be a place to say, well, you didn't get power through the correct way, so we cannot support Zimbabwe. We cannot support you.
If
we
you
cannot
really
support
stood behind Mugabe,
if you really stood. No, they all came and congratulations. We wish you prosperity.
But Maria, you must also understand the position that I was in with Mnangagwa, because I looked at this guy's situation when Mugabe was put out of office. This guy basically fled on foot to South Africa. Okay? And I really thought maybe Mr. Crocodile he had an epiphany of exactly what they've been doing wrong for the last 20 years. So maybe if he comes back and become president of Zimbabwe, there will be a change of morals, a change of heart, a change of regime, a change of everything going forward. So I had to give him the benefit of the doubt to say, okay, Mr. Crocodile, we'll try and take that name away. Maybe there's another name that we can give you. Because now, again, it's clear that this guy, he earns his name.
Yeah. It almost feels like you are married to a husband and you have your friends and support, whatever. And then Damoje had trouble from a side chick now. And then the side chick is in now. And all the friends are still behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're on the outside.
Yeah.
And all the friends are supporting, like, guys, support me. But
Maria.
Mugabe has no support.
No, even Zuma, when he was going through his stuff,
I'm Sholozi.
SADC said nothing when the debacle.
There's so many examples.
Yeah, the debacle in Eswatini.
Yeah, but something else that's interesting, and we didn't touch on it. I feel like at some point, maybe just in passing, we should mention it. Dos Santos' son, 5 years imprisonment.
Yeah.
Whoever thought that would happen?
Okay, that is definitely.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's a change in Africa.
Wind of change.
The wind.
J-Lo as beer. I love J-Lo. You don't understand when I tell you I love that man.
It's your family.
So Dos Santos Jr. His son was jailed for corruption and stuff.
Oh, yes.
Yes, he was in charge of, what do you call it, the reserves of the country?
Uh-huh.
The
The money.
The
money.
bank, yeah. And apparently, I think 2 weeks before his dad stepped down, there was a wire transfer.
Yep.
Durkant. And I mean, but money's been going amiss. But like, I mean, that was the last transaction. Knowing that the father is stepping down, they took money. I mean, they tried to justify it because they also got the Santos statement. They said they were trying to make some investment to help the country, blah 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 blah. But it's all nonsense. I think he got a slap on the wrist. 5 years.
Yeah,
but
I think 5 years is a slap on the wrist.
To have been the son of Dos Santos and be in jail.
Yeah.
Is
It's a
even
big
a
statement.
year,
It's a
even
big
a year
statement.
would have been too much for him. But I can imagine that Isabella is shaking in her boots because she's next, by the way.
She's not coming. She will not come back
They
to...
will extradite.
She's must in London or something like that.
She's always somewhere.
In Munchkin.
Who?
Munchkin.
Hey. Okay, moving forward swiftly.
Munchkin.
Alsjeblieft.
I shall not participate in this discussion.
Kom eens lees comments.
Yeah. Kan ons net aangaan met hierdie show. We did our African
We did our part for
news
Africa.
roundup.
Yeah.
Okay? So we're coming back to Namibia now. Let us just concentrate on topics
guys.
that takes this country forward.
Forward.
We don't want these regressive statements in the studio. Alsjeblieft.
I got on too late. I was like, this munch.
Yeah.
Once it hit home, I was like,
Ronnie Kawenji, morning my people. I can really see that Neville is from the Grootwinkels. Those moves. That was from back when we were starting the show. Wait, let me refresh so I can get more recent comments. Facebook, I swear, is conspiring against the comments. It's like they
bundle of joy.
I'm here
I shouldn't have.
to contribute to positivity on this show.
Death by Munchkin. Eili Maiden Yoma. Okay, because lees right now.
Ek lag nie saam nie. Kom ek kursie. Sis, julle twee.
When they said SADC, they could have mentioned the countries in support. It's really bad to ignore the suffering the
Kyk
Zimbabwean
hierdie
people
Maria.
are going through.
Groot vrou wat so sit en aangaan.
Elton Rukoro Ngwaiko, Jacob Zuma's wife reported him for child support. Msholos.
Omsolos.
How can you be sitting on that much guap and not be paying child support? Come on, guys.
Are you serious? Is this an actual thing?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Somebody in Munchkin is a shareholder of Food Lovers.
Oh, where?
Marua Mall.
I know who I need to be friends with in this country.
Death by Munchkin, that was funny.
Aye.
Epson Hoibe, guys, all old African leaders are out of ideas. They need to have youth understudies, or they needed to have youth understudies 10 years back already.
Talking about that, it just seems to me that we have a lot of the older guard in Africa. Let's speak in the collective here.
Yeah.
That just for some reason or the other don't want to support the youth, the cause of the youth. It just seems like, let's take our country now, here in Namibia.
Yes.
Whatever the youth, and it just looks to me like this, whatever the youth is busy trying to do, any contribution that the youth wants to make,
Yes.
it seems like there's a roadblock every time, because it always seems like it's always considered a political agenda, what the youth is busy with. And because of that, you young people don't understand this country. You can't take this country going forward. We will keep the status quo because A, B, C, D, E. And in 88...
That's the problem.
And in 88... No, and it's true. 88, 89. I was 17, 18 years old. And we were in the forefront of trying to propel change in this country. Yeah. And we were supported. There were a few who said, nah, you are just disruptive and you have no respect and you must respect the authority, etc., etc. Why was it okay then, but it's not okay now for the youth to voice their opinions?
Because then your opinions was against the other side.
Oh, okay.
Now
so when the oppressed becomes the oppressor.
Yes.
Basically.
Like, look, at this point in time, right? Okay, let me not give the example. But in any case, at this point, it becomes more a thing. It's not what was done, but rather who did it. Even, I can bet you, even if we decide to put money together to go build a school, government is going to find a way to halt that project because, no, you guys cannot build. We build schools, not you.
For instance, good example.
Yes.
Let's say the three of us, we get funding from somewhere. And the three of us decide, you know what, we go to a remote village in Okongola or wherever.
Where?
I don't know, of Kamatapati. Waar is julle Wambu se name?
Kamatapati is julle se.
Yes, onsene. Anywhere in the country, and we decide to build a school. And we obviously, in terms of the publicity around it, etc., 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 etc. Sitting here, I'm very much likely to think that, like you do say, there might be some pushback.
Yes.
Say, who can persuade you to go and do something like this? Are you being funded by certain colonialists or
yes.
or whoever? I don't know. It just seems like.
Remember the situation of the quarantine facility in Walfish Bay? Same situation.
You don't even,
got outside funding for it.
And that is wrong.
You don't even have to go far. Currently, there's a current situation right now with this reparation.
Yes.
Okay. So we know that Nudo, for example, was at the forefront of this. Nudo and obviously, what is DTA now called?
PDM.
Sorry. I know it looks like I was trying to take a swipe. I actually really forgot. PDM and LPM has also joined the because those are really predominantly the affected groups, the Ovaherero and Nama people. And those are mostly the parties with which they associate with. Now, yesterday the news was, you guys are politicizing this. Stop politicizing the reparation. But the motion was brought forward in Parliament by a politician. It's always been very integral. It's very centered in politics. Because how do you enforce change? You have to do it through politics. How do you force the German government's hand to recognize, to first acknowledge the genocide? Just first acknowledge that, okay? And then we talk about reparation. It's political. Of course it's politics. So how are you trying to silence people who are really fighting for their people and say, well, stop politicizing this. You guys are trying to get, and this is what they said. You are politicizing this to get seats for the upcoming elections. That is like such a backhanded, reparation is not a new issue. It's been going on for years. So to try and say that, but that is...
over 30 years now.
Yeah, and that's a silencing technique. But then again, those are the tools. When the youth speaks up, it says, you guys are trying to politicize everything. Well, if it's politics...
No, it's because they want to politicize it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to politicize it, so you can't have it. Because in my eyes, that means you are politicizing it, because that's exactly what I want to do with it.
So what's the youth supposed to do? What's the role of the youth?
We must wait till we are 80 to take power.
We must vote for Job Amupanda. That's what we must do.
I didn't say that. You said it.
I was trying to look for another young name in local politics these days.
Well, I think Swarbo is relatively young. He's still considered a youthful leader.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, but he's not there anymore.
He's not where anymore.
He's now not in the party anymore.
Aye.
So he can't be followed. But that's the notion.
That's your notion.
hey, it's the collective notion of certain...
We now know
of
that's
certain
not the
communi-
notion.
No, true. I agree with
The
you.
last elections told us that's not the notion.
I agree with you.
People are not blindly following SWAPO.
But that's the issue at the moment. It's like the moment you leave the comfort of the party and you're outside, any narrative that you have is wrong.
That's why the youth will not get a chance. That right there. That's exactly why the youth will not get a chance. Because I mean, I don't know what the structures within the party look like and how information is shared from the bottom to the top and stuff. But I doubt that any of the young guys within the party are able to actually progress whatever ideas that they have. And you are basically you're going to get forced out of the party. You conform or you get out. And when you get out also, like you are saying, it's cold and it's dark.
And I hate to see it, and it happens quite a bit.
Yeah.
Where you have a very vocal, very progressive, sharp-shooting youth leader. And then they take that leader and get them into the fold. Okay? And then there's just a change in them. They're not as vocal, or they're trying to tiptoe, or suddenly the things they used to be.
I like that word, tiptoe.
Yeah, tiptoeing. Or the things that we used to be so inflamed and passionate about, when other people do it, they start silencing, you know. I hate that type of politics where you have to, it feels like you're whipped in line. I don't know if it's intentionally or you just adapt the mindset of the older leadership once you're in that power or that position of power. But it quite literally is what I'm saying. Like the oppressed becomes the oppressor, and that's. I would like to see people stay true to themselves, to their politics, to the fight, to their quest. Please don't change when you get into that position.
But guys, I need to ask you this question. The three of us are in one political party, okay? You have your views, I have my views. Is there... It just seems like the notion here or the principle of a political party is, and this toe the line issue that you talk about, Maria, how far is towing the line?
And at what price?
At what price do you just toe the line? You have an American police force who been years towing the line, that blue line. And that is why so much atrocities has happened in America in the police force. You toe the line in a political party. You keep quiet about things. You keep quiet about corruption. You keep quiet about everything. Is that towing the line right? When can you have your own opinion to sort of propel change without rattling any cages?
No, it's okay to rattle.
Yeah.
It's not okay for the old guard.
No, I think rattling cages is good.
They don't shape up unless somebody is rattling the cages.
Yes. I mean, I often think about when these topics come up. I often think about the current president, right? Dr. Hage, when he wanted to be prime minister, and the founding said no. You will not be, not prime minister, sorry, the next vice president of the party. And eventually we know that Pohamba was then selected to take over.
As the party's president. Yeah.
And the founding, and the current president, he went to the States.
UN.
He went to the UN, right? And he wrote... It's not a memoir. It's a doctorate, right? It was he wrote a thesis.
A thesis, yes.
He wrote a thesis in which he kind of put a lot of this. Some people that read it felt like he was attacking the founding. Whether that's true or not, it's up to your own conclusion. I definitely felt like that's what it was.
That was a pot shot.
Yeah, but I think in his thesis, some of the stuff he said were very relevant to him at the time. And they made a lot of sense. And it's funny now to watch him like come into power. And basically the narrative that he was painting, when it's expressed by somebody else, maybe not see it and not click with it. Like, I know what it felt to be on the outside.
I was there where you were.
I was there where you were. I didn't necessarily toe the line. I put it in my thesis.
Yes.
I mean, and that's, by the way, thesis is available just if you search for it.
Yeah.
It's available for anybody to read. But it is. And so I was listening to the First Lady last week. She spoke about, it was Youth Week or Youth Day.
Yeah.
And she gave some of really, I enjoyed the conversation very much. She said some very, very fundamental things about taking power. And
it's one of the best speeches from
fantastic.
Monica that I've heard.
It's not one of the best. She actually,
it was very good.
Yeah.
I loved what she said.
Yeah. She actually makes. Let's just be honest. She's a great public speaker.
Yeah.
And she's
Oranje mondgoede.
Yeah, and because she speaks from the heart, you connect with her words. So this was another occasion where she spoke really greatly, and I think initially I was scared there would be backlash because I was like, ooh, can people twist her words? And because that happens quite a bit with her. But that didn't happen, thank goodness. I think largely, I'm not on Twitter anymore, so I couldn't really follow, but it felt like it was well received from what I was able to gather. But she said some very fundamental things about how once you are in power, don't forget what it felt like.
Without power.
Without power.
Very true.
And I hope like leaders listened to that and thought and like it resonated, that it touched them, because that's unfortunately what happens. Once you get into power, you forget.
I loved that speech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, by the way, if you haven't seen the speech, I think you can Google it. I hope everybody saw it. It was a really, really, really nice, beautiful, well-written, well-spoken speech. It really got to the heart of a lot of what people are thinking and feeling. But yes, it goes back into this youth thing, and she was actually advocating for youth and the leadership. So where's the youth in the country?
But it's funny because one of the things that our president was saying to the SADC leaders during their Zoom meeting was, if the region doesn't give the youth a chance, we run the risk of radicalizing them. So if this
we are.
And if this is something that they can actually see, forget SADC, let's talk about Namibia now. We're not really seeing the kind of change that we're sort of advising the rest of SADC to take. So it's a bit counterproductive. It's exactly the same as going there to go applaud Mnangagwa. It seems like some of these things are just empty platitudes.
If you wanted to, and if you didn't heard the speech, the speech is about 2 minutes, and I have it here on my. Maybe we can.
It's longer than that.
But the one that I have is
okay. Maybe they just
Yeah. If you guys wouldn't mind, would it be nice to play it?
I would.
Please play it.
No, I would mind.
No,
why?
For 2 minutes.
It's just 2 minutes.
Okay, fine. Play it. Play.
It's just for people to hear what
I already said yes. Don't try to sell it. You already sold it.
Ooh, Jane.
Yeah.
You don't know much. And I'm okay with that, as I'm not always in the mood to talk. And it gives me time to observe people and power. It's always a lesson to see how power is used by those who have it, and how people who don't have it behave around it. It's fascinating to watch. The question I want each of you to ask yourselves today is, do you have a plan about how you will yield power? It seems like a simple question, but the reality is that the answer is complex. Power is corrosive. It does change people. You can't control something you don't understand, and it's important that you observe power dynamics. Be clear on how you behave around it, and how you behave when you have it. When you have power, always remember how it felt not to have power, and be guided accordingly. Time won't permit me to go into details, so there are 10 quick lessons I want to share that I've learned as an observer of power. Number 1, try avoiding taking sides when politicians start clashing. There's a lot of grievances in the political space, and if you're not careful, you'll be forced to take sides. Politicians don't have permanent friends or enemies. They only have permanent interests. And when they fight each other, they normally don't include you when they make peace with one another. Number two, de-risk your political career with an economic vulnerability plan. I believe young people seeking to enter politics or the public sphere should first have marketable skills, a qualification, or a means of earning an additional income. There is no more vulnerable position than relying on the discretion of politicians for your livelihood, especially if you're unemployable outside of the public sector. Third, learn to accept defeat. I've seen many bright careers destroyed by the inability to accept defeat. Whether it's electoral, whether it's not being considered for an appointment you felt you were best suited for, or given to someone who knows or does less than you. If you obtain public office, don't build your personality or your status around it. Positions are temporary. The worst time for a politician that I've observed is the day after he's been appointed, because that's the day his phone starts to ring and he's being reminded by everybody whether they remember how hard they worked and what positions that they deserve. Don't be that person.
Wow.
Thank you, Monica.
Why are you shouting?
No, I had increased the volume on his mic.
Yeah.
Because the audio clip was a bit low.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that.
Yeah.
It was really inspiring to listen to.
She's our own Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, she's her own Monica Kala.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's really her own.
Yeah.
Okay, let me read some comments.
By the way, somebody was asking whether there's a link to that thing. I just tell them what you searched in your Google search or
No.
YouTube.
It was on WhatsApp.
Oh, all right.
It's obviously.
Okay, but you can search for it. It's there.
Knuckles Ferris is saying, I'm tired of lying about us. Mary, I just tell the people where you slept. Anyway.
I'm tired of lying about us.
Firstly.
Oh, Knuckles.
When we no longer have to lie about us.
Knuckles. One time.
I thought you could keep your mouth shut. It
was funny.
Okay, Epson Hoiweb. Guys, the problem with our leaders is talk is brilliant, but action is zero. And then Asino is saying, hey, Epson, here we say Zelo. Tabo Chatter, the First Lady's speech trended well. I even heard about it from a friend here in Indiana, USA.
Yeah.
And then there was Martin Emutoni, I think, said, Swapo is the people, and the people are Swapo. Let me just say that one got a lot of backlash.
Viva.
Hey, you must respect the party. You people, like the president, founding father used to, you unscrupulous elements.
Was ons Kaloi Buchter. Queen Maria, I love humanity. Josephson Nanyemba. George Hidipohamba Kambala looks like bundle of joy.
Ooh, child.
Julle het slegte maniere. Kom kursie.
Die mense is stout daaroor. Okay, the first... I read that one. Swapo is a waste of space. Their loot is... Not my handwriting.
The opinions expressed on the show.
No, the disclaimer is already played at the beginning of the show. Don't worry, man. I got this. People are tired, guys. 30 years is not a small number. I guess not even Legina is 30. She is still under 30 years old. Legina, are you seeing these things? Alright, Lichi Mongo, I'm not trying to be funny, but since Walfish Bay is Wuhan, does that make Windhoek USA, seeing that it surpassed Walfish Bay?
Yeah, no?
Okay.
We probably are the states, yeah.
No, we have Windhoek, and it's Windhoek so. Everything we do it big.
Yeah.
Even our corruption is bigger than yours. What did we overlook? Is it probably? It's probably George's comment, but I don't see it anymore. It's disappeared. Simon Pandu Nakale, Bayern score 8 against Barcelona, not to beat them, but to make a statement that the league is theirs, or the Champions League. Anyway, Cubase, I was the one carrying the flag.
When Bayern?
No, like I've even seen it when there are no people in the stadium. It's like a permanent fixture in the stadium. I'll try and find one of those.
Yeah.
Places. Same January. Apparently, it's not a coup, but a popular uprising. New name for coup in Africa.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Richie Mutendere, Q, what happened to your German of grade 8? My broer, weet jy wanneer laatst dat ek van mevrou Janek gesien? Ich weiß nicht, maar ich spreche keine Deutsch mehr. Deutsch ist vergeten.
Vergessen. Vergessen.
Vergessen, ja.
Ja.
Makwa van Makwa, Maria is just pushing the guys to finish sports news so that she starts with cool news.
Yamos.
Yeah.
Don't you guys like knowing what's the latest in our continent?
Yes.
Yeah, we want to know the latest score.
The latest. This one is fresh.
Thank you, Cubase, for wearing your mask from Heinrich Hafeni. Thank you, my guy. Okay, Sadek is a joke. How can you applaud Nangagwa? Or what do you call him? Crocodile Man.
Crocodile.
Ja. Okay, I need to refresh again. Neville, lees 'n paar comments daar asseblief.
Nee, ek laat Maria lees.
Nee, ek sal nie nou lees, but you said something that kind of probed me. You said something about our corruption is even bigger, whatever.
Yes.
So if anybody has Netflix, I was watching this thing I think it's called Dirty Money. It tackles a lot of issues, global, like these big cases that are happening in the world. You should watch it, by the way. It's first of all, it's just brilliant. You know, it has mini series.
What is it called?
Dirty Money.
Dirty Money, okay.
And for example, you know, we like to portray like Africans as the most corrupt people, right? But like, I mean, the truth is, if you look at this documentary, because it goes, like I said, it's got different series, it tackles different subjects. But you know, you kind of start realizing like how systematic like corruption is like outside Africa, and I'll just run you like through some of the stuff some of the topics they touch. For example, like am I saying it correctly? Volkswagen.
Yeah, but you're right.
Volkswagen. Yes, yeah, and like Mercedes-Benz and BMW, right? They were like selling dirty like diesel cars with like above legal levels of NOx fumes. So and this was like a big case, but they manufactured cars and sold them off like as if they meet requirements
when they did not,
and when they don't. And I mean, NOx like in the atmosphere is like very, very deadly. Like, I mean, people were like,
I remember that story.
Yeah, exactly. And then
I
you have
remember that scandal.
Yes. Then you had the other issues like Wells Fargo, Citibank, Deutsche Bank, and stuff like American. Like this, how they assist, for example, cartels, launder money, not just cartels, like drug cartels, like bigger. Like money laundering, money just goes through those banks.
Like the Trumps.
Yes. By the way, they also had something on Trump and his son-in-law, how he would buy properties but it's like it's all systematic. It's like you guys, just do yourselves a favor and
hear what Maria is saying. I mean, you're chronicling a few scandals, global scandals here that is basically not reported on widely because everybody keeps on saying that corruption is so systemic in Africa and that's Africa for you. Typical African. Even the word corruption, where does it come from? It's a Greek word spelled corrupto.
Yeah.
It comes from there. And Volkswagen, that's one of them.
And even with Donald Trump, they were touching about how he's used his presidency to make money.
Hello.
It's so, I mean, it's so unethical, you know. He makes deals, and then later you see that his son-in-law or his daughter, they're signing deals in that country, and he just met with those leaders, and it's just crazy. I mean, he was selling beans the other day.
Yes.
From
yes.
His office.
Yes.
Office.
Goya beans.
Goya beans. But it's stuff like that. So I mean, we like to portray like this is the worst, but there are worst thing. Oh, by the way, then there was like pharmaceutical companies, right, that increased the prices of drugs, right, unregulated, that hundreds and thousands rely on for survival. So, for example, like this woman was, I'll just give an example. She was like buying meds for like, she literally needs these meds to live, okay, and it used to cost like, let's say $30, okay, for the month, you know, her supply. And this company gets bought out by this big, like, pharmaceutical company. Yeah. And they increase it, like, by so much. But then soon this med is going for 700, from 30 to 700. Yep. And you need, like, there's nobody else manufacturing this. If you don't take it, you're literally dying. Yeah. Your medical insurance does not cover it. Yeah. So you're spending 700 a month. Used to spend 30, 700, unregulated, unchecked, like it's just normal.
Now, big pharma has America, like they call it big pharma. This is big pharmaceutical companies. Because I was watching an insert on, I think last week tonight with John Oliver, where they were doing something on you know, this medical insurance, what they call medical insurance, medical aid for us, where the basically the medical insurance company in the States are paying their clients. They will pay for your ticket to fly to Mexico or to Canada to go pick up your medicine there, because even then it comes out cheaper than you getting your medicine in the States. That's how expensive just any sort of medication is in America. So yeah. Anyway, I see the two of you have dived into your phones. Kom ek lees comments.
No, yeah.
Ek wil net hierdie knuckles virus nee. Your comments will not be read.
Wat het Knuckles?
Laat Knuckles ver gaan speel. Moenie Knuckles se comments lees nie. Des van Wyk is asking here, hi guys, can you guys give us insight on my homeboy, August Maletsky? Why did he receive an interdict for wanting to make a list of names public relating to corruption in our beautiful Namibia? I don't know, Maria. Maybe from your.
I can look something.
Anything trickled down on your desk with regards to that?
No, nothing has. Okay. And I'm being sincere. Nothing has.
We'll see if there's any information. Shax is asking, Maria, are you on any gossip WhatsApp groups?
No, actually, sadly not.
Come on, gossip girls. XO.
Firstly, I'm actually the worst person for WhatsApp, because what I literally do is I mute groups. Sometimes I have to be on them. Yeah. And then when people start, like mute 8 hours, I don't do the whole muting for a year thing. I do it for 8 hours. And if it continues after 8 hours, I'll mute again. But then I've obviously my work WhatsApp groups, those I can't mute. But yeah, I'm not really, I'm not even on a family WhatsApp group.
It's okay. You can say you mute the work ones. HR is not here today.
No, actually I don't mute the work, because I regulate them. Of course, I can't, yeah.
Dion Chimsizel, haha guys. Her speech is spot on. But she's in power, and many of the things that happened or that is happening in our country up until now, I haven't seen her question wrongdoings of elites or politicians. So let's not be blown away by private school accent and good words when no actions are not or haven't been done.
Okay, thank you. You made a very relevant point, and can we unpack this a little bit? just like for 5 minutes?
Okay.
All right.
Do you want to be honest?
Can I be honest?
Yeah. Okay. Be honest.
Yeah, I want to be honest. Anyway, what do you guys expect her to do? I'm assuming, I've heard this conversation before. Do you expect the First Lady to stand up on a public platform and criticize her husband? Is that what you guys are essentially saying? Because I can, when I listen to her speech, and I can see the honesty there, but of course she cannot bring it too close to home where she's directly saying, like my husband, you know. If we don't expect that from any wife, forget that she's First Lady. any wife, anybody's wife. I don't expect your wife to come publicly and speak against you. I don't expect your wife to come publicly and speak against you or anybody's wife.
I wouldn't be surprised though with mine. I'm just saying.
Eina. So is jou gooi onder die bus.
Onder die bus, my bro.
But yeah, we don't really expect, it's not common for people to, yes. So why do we seem to have that double standard for it's almost like people really wanted to come and say, I don't agree with my husband's policies. Maybe she doesn't. And maybe she corrects in public, privately, but do you really expect her to stand on a public platform and say as much?
And the thing is just, in my opinion, Monica is not a politician.
She isn't. And she said she's not interested.
She's not a politician. She's not in any political structure at this moment that I know of. I think everything that she talks, that's her own opinion. Yeah. And she speaks about it from a social point of view as to how we can better ourselves as a people. So she is an outsider looking in as to what she's saying. So as much as we know that she is the wife of the president, and she's supposed to be privy about every piece of information that goes on in government circles. But come on now, you guys can't expect the first lady now to not even Melania Trump.
Yeah, Melania just doesn't take her husband's hand in public. But she doesn't speak up against him.
Yeah. So we know what happens in America, okay? But there's a united front with our first lady and the president. And obviously, from that point of view, we need to respect that. There's no way that what you guys are asking will happen.
And it's actually, I think it's an unfair unfair suggestion.
Yes, I agree with Mary. It's a bit unfair to put that on her.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen Mrs. Ramaphosa on TV? How many? Do you even know what her name is?
Yeah. The only thing that I know about Ramaphosa's wife. The only thing that I know about Ramaphosa's wife is that he cheated on her. But that's the truth.
That's the only thing I know.
It's the only thing I know about his wife because he said it. I had a cambroto. I cheated on my wife. I apologized to her many, many years ago. So ons gaan aan. That's the only information I know about Cyril Ramaphosa. Is that he had a side chick. Yeah, let kinders, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it is unfair to put that kind of pressure. I mean, obviously, I also sort of kind of understand where you're coming from. She's in a position to speak to power, I guess, and you would want her to speak up, but then you should also understand the situation that she is in.
Do you want Monica now to speak? And tonight, what's going to happen? Hey, Monica, how will you go and say something like that?
It's not even that. Last time she tried to speak on politics, there were literally leaders, and I shall not mention names, that told her to stay in the kitchen. Such a sexist thing to say.
It's Maskin Munchkin. Who said that?
No, it was somebody outside the Swapper party.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's it.
They were telling her, I think it was even D now, Yoma. And like, come on, please. Come on and defend yourself. I think it was D. Or somebody said, or if it was not D, it was definitely Henny Saber, but it's one of the two. Said to her, play any base. Wait for your husband to win elections if he doesn't. Prepare him a hot meal or whatever. And that was like one of the most disgusting things. I mean, this is a woman with, like, it has been in business before she got married, has accolades, is educated, has been doing her thing for years before she got married. And the fact that you want to reduce her to and there's nothing wrong with the kitchen, by the way. But the fact that you wanted to reduce her to that, it just shows like how much work we still have to do as a nation. But anyway, let's move on.
Yep. In the meantime, Swapo's new building getting taller by the day. Yes, Poppy in Chikongo. Do you believe in what Rich Aunt is saying? I heard this phrase this morning, never, by the way.
Okay.
Rich Aunt.
Rich Aunt.
What is rich?
Apparently, people are not called slay queens anymore. They are called rich aunties.
So,
I heard it from Shines.
You heard it from Shines?
Is that from your gossip WhatsApp groups?
I am on many gossip WhatsApp groups.
You didn't hear that
something.
one.
I don't know, Maria, were you here? I don't know if you guys were here already.
Shaz doesn't say these things in front of me, but
No.
in
the morning, right? So Regine comes in the studio. Semi calls her, and then we just, getting to know each other, and then they are introducing themselves to her also. It's like, no, I'm Samuel. That's also Samuel. She turns around and looks at Chaz. Are you the one with the accent?
Are you the one with the accent?
I'm like, Mukurwanje. Why?
Yeah, so Shaz, are you the one with the accent?
So auntie, rich auntie.
I like that.
Wow.
Call me rich auntie. Minus the money.
I see the Knuckles comment that you do not want us to
Nee,
read.
laat Knuckles net ver gaan speel.
Is it inappropriate?
Oh,
All right. Then let's not entertain it.
Knuckles, Kurwachi.
Stout bliksem.
Ai.
What?
Baie raka yo eh.
Oh.
So warne.
It slipped out. Apologies, my guys. Apologies.
Nee.
Kamahela, they stay slay queens, right?
Hela. There's no word that gets your attention more. If somebody says hela.
Yeah,
hela.
Epson, guys, as for me, I am happy the youth is awake since last year, and no psychological attack will change the youth from trying to take over from the old dogs. Yes, I think politically we are awakening.
I remember a few years ago the president was saying, it was very, very funny. You know what? During the liberation struggle, we taught you young people how to protest, how to demonstrate, how to destroy things. Now that we are in power, now we don't know how to stop you young people not to do this anymore.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oof. Mensen sê wat ek hou.
What?
Knuckles, Oppo. Joshua Hadula, the oil leak from the stranded ship has caused severe damage to the people of Mauritius, the economy of which largely relies on tourism and the beautiful ocean.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I saw it first, I thought they were replaying old footage, and then I realized this is something recent, and it's heartbreaking that we still have these things happening. Why are we still using oil anyway? Kan ons nie al beweeg van die oil af nie. With things like global warming and stuff, we're still struggling to get oil out of the ground.
We have enough sun here in Namibia. We need to go solar as far as possible.
Dion Chimzizel says, Maria said, I am not going to mention a name. Maria, a few seconds later, I think it was Henny or Saibem or D. Yeah, I had to get it off my chest.
Yeah.
But I'm with outcome. He thinks I hate him.
Una.
D. But I don't.
Bulukweni.
Yeah.
Okay.
I bumped into him the other day.
Is it?
It's like, why don't you like me? It's like, I don't have a problem with you. But he's like, but if I knew you were pretty, I would have.
How can a politician ask someone that?
No, because he doesn't consider himself he considers himself an activist.
Oh, okay.
And I'm, to a degree, a different type of activist.
Oh, okay.
So it was more that thing.
So you activists, you also play a hate on each other?
No, I think in his mind, I blocked him, but I didn't block him because he's an activist. I am okay with what they are doing with the AR. Actually, I admire the work that they're doing. I mean, I'm all for land anyway, so I have no problem with the AR. I blocked him for like personal reasons. For me, it was some sexism that was happening, and I don't like that.
Oh, okay.
So, and then he saw me, and he was just like, why don't you like me? I was like, I don't hate you. I don't hate you. Like, I don't always agree with you, and that's fine, you know. But I mean, as an activist, I can't hate another activist. Because by virtue, our activism, somehow, you can't fight for land and not fight for women, by the way, because who needs that land more than anybody? As the single mothers who are taking care of children. I am for, like, women empowerment.
But then you guys must team up.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. A lot of times we should be teaming up, but it just seems like you're seeing each other as enemies, and it's the most silliest thing, because like I said, and I was even telling Dia, I said, there's no way you can fight
George.
for land and not love women.
George, can you please speak to D, okay? So that we can we'll speak to Maria
Listen to
this
it,
side.
George.
Yeah, we start a little,
No, please don't. I mean, I have his number if I need to.
Yeah, we need to start a little conference, a workshop, so that, the activism this side and your activism that side can merge together and make this a strong
You know what they
movement
call
going
us?
forward.
You know what they call us?
What?
Perfumed feminists.
Ay, mukuru.
That's what they call us. Like legit, like we don't go in the street. Yeah, like we come out just with our keyboard. We don't go to protest. We don't go to the communities. We don't do any work. No, we do actually, by the way. But anyway.
Okay. It's almost time for us to leave the studio. Come, let's sling in a few more. Erasi EK, Cubase, please find something to piss off Maria. I like it when she defends herself. I know what will piss off. I saw a comment here. Wait, where was it?
Why do I still come on the show?
There was something. It was something about Ramaphosa. When we were speaking about Ramaphosa, the person was like, he didn't only cheat on her, he also beat her. Malema said so. Are you pissed? Are you pissed, Maria? Are you pissed?
No.
There's nothing to piss her off, guys. We'll try again tomorrow. Coast chip.
Leicester.
The state coast chip.
You guys have nothing on us anymore. Maybe the three of us were easily triggered maybe 6-7 months ago.
Guys, please don't.
No, I can still get triggered. Don't try me.
You can't trigger Maria anymore.
Don't put challenges
Don't
on
put
the
challenge.
table.
No, you can. I think people know how to trigger me. Yeah. It's not difficult. Just talk about abuse, sexual violence. It's not difficult. It's not difficult.
But you know what, Maria? Mm-hmm. And when I say 6 months ago, sometimes people will still try to poke at you, to poke the bear.
Yeah.
But how you respond today is different how you would have responded 6-7 months ago.
You start getting better at it.
No.
Yeah. It's like you de-weaponize a lot of the things that people do, because if I'm gonna let you guys stay with the arrows, the bow and arrows, you gotta keep shooting. So you have to de-weaponize a lot of the stuff that's thrown at you.
And Maria, I mean, I think we spoke about this the other day, you and me. And I say, as much as you grew a thick skin in terms of your tolerance on certain issues, what people are saying, I also had to go and look at myself and say, look at some of the unconscious biasness that I have, that I could easily maybe a year ago just throw at you and be oblivious about certain issues about women's rights. Yeah. I understand these things way better than I used to. Yeah. Because I'm with someone who literally sits next to me on a daily basis, and I learn a lot from you concerning issues like that. Yeah. Then again, you on the other side, you have a better understanding of exactly how other people are thinking about certain issues that you oppose. But I know
generally how people think about other issues. I grew up with those opinions. I've just learned to navigate that space better. But I will say this. I think for men, if you really want to grow as a person, I think the best relationships I've seen is men and feminists. Like, you need a feminist in your life as a man to kind of help you see some of those biases, because sometimes it's innately, like, you don't even know it. It's just what you grew up doing.
But Maria, is feminism not the strong word?
No, because again,
I have a problem with that.
Yeah,
word.
I understand, and
why?
You have a problem with it because of, again, preconceived notion of what the idea of a feminist is like. Women that are angry, people that are angry on the topic, we're burning our bras.
Give me a few pointers and I will say, yes, that's what I think. Yes, that's what I think.
Come on, burning our bras.
Yeah, almost. No, they actually did. They actually did do that. Like in the 60s, yeah.
Give me a few stereotypes that you hear about being a feminist.
Okay, that we're angry.
That's what I also think.
Angry. We hate men.
That's what I also think.
We are when they say independent, is like that we are independent to a point where we want to oppress men.
That's what I think.
Yeah, so those are the three main ones.
Okay, and that is my opinion of,
and it's
of
none
being
of it
a
is true.
feminist.
None of it is true.
Now, why can't you guys then do a workship so that we can unpack this and see the other side?
We do, but nobody has time to coddle men.
But why
because
not?
because it's like this, Neville. It's the same thing. When you're speaking out against, for example, white oppression, right?
True.
You don't coddle white people. You speak your mind. It's like, yeah, give us our land. This is racist. How could you do this? And give black people a chance. When you're talking black lives, nobody has time to like perfume it and make it all rosary and and hug your oppressor and whatever. So when men are speaking out against racism and racial issues, they understand why they are mad. They don't have time to coddle white people. They don't have time to speak nicely to them. But when we're fighting for our own oppression, when we speak to men and we're like, then they expect us like, you're too angry. But yesterday you were in the Black Lives Matter demonstrating, throwing cannons at the police and like, hello, why don't you understand it?
Because you never mind.
We're all oppressed. You need to understand the same way a black man is oppressed by a white man and trying to fight for that liberation. It's the same way a woman is oppressed by a man, and we're trying to fight for that liberation. That by the way, we use the exact same methods. Maybe not the exact. Black men are usually a little bit more violent in their attempt, but we have the similar methods. The only thing is you understand it from your position as a man trying to fight oppression against white rule, but you don't understand it when it's a woman, because for you, a woman is somebody less than and should be in the kitchen and should be on the side and should not say anything, and you don't have the same rights.
She's not oppressed.
She's not oppressed. Why? You have liberties. You can vote. Okay?
What is your problem?
Yeah. No, we have the same struggles.
Then again, Maria, I think I've really tried to do my part of trying to create a platform where I can speak to a white man and to hear and listen to his point of view on, let's say, because I got some white friends who would say, never luister. Wat wie julle mense, ek kan nie verstaan Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Why are you all lives matter, man? Dan sê ek, luister, let's have a sit down and let me explain to you from a black man's point of view what Black Lives Matter mean. And it's probably something that you guys would not obviously agree with, but that's just who I am. No, the moment a white man starts speaking about farm murders, for instance, say, okay, let me hear your opinion on farm murders, because that's his narrative. Let me try and listen to what farm murders mean to you.
Yeah.
Because then again, I have a lot of my black friends, nah, don't come and talk to me about farm murders. Everybody gets murdered. And I believe that's the mistake that we also make. Because that's the same thing white people are saying. All lives matter. Don't come here and talk about Black Lives Matter only. There needs to be a sit down, as much as we don't like what they say about farm murders. But let's hear what they say.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the black woman, sorry, I was just saying, a black woman is literally at the bottom of the food chain, because you have a white male, white female, black male, and then black female.
Yeah.
You are all the way oppressed. The white man is oppressing you. The white woman is oppressing you. The black man is oppressing you too.
Ja, maar julle moet ook net vir julle gedra.
Anyway, somebody quickly before you go on, Esther says, of course feminists are angry. No one is happily oppressed. Yes, you are right. We are angry in that sense, because nobody wants to be oppressed. But I think, just in clarity, I just meant like they think we are angry, like we have no joy in our life. Like we are constantly 24 hours net quat. No, we're not. We do have other joys in our life.
I want to add something to I think what Neville was saying. Like, I've been listening to the two of you. I also understand, Maria, when you say nobody has time to coddle the man, the oppressor. But like, look, I from my personal experience, right? I would never have realized how chauvinistic some of the things that are just part of the way I do things, how they are, until I started, having these conversations with my wife, who's, by the way, also a feminist. Okay? So maybe in that sense, you do need to sort of try and bridge the gap a little bit to try and talk to some of them. Because there are people who really, like even with white people, there are white people who do not understand their racism. Who like when you call them racist, they don't understand what you mean.
Exactly.
What do you mean I'm racist?
And that's why I'm saying it's important for men to have feminist friends, because really, who can really explain it to it's the person that is patient with you. Okay,
Yeah.
I can have this conversation with you and not feel like I'm coddling you. It just feels like an exchange, but I also know you're receptive to it, and or you or anybody close to me. But to expect me to do that all the time, or expect me to like somebody is busy oppressing me and I should just coddle you.
I think
Maria, wat wil julle hê?
Maria, I
Wat
think
wil
I
julle
think you
hê?
guys should
We
take.
want equity.
You remember men started this thing of the men's conference. I
Yeah.
think feminists should just take that over and actually host a men's conference where you school men.
No, men don't want to listen to women. So, but listen,
we want to look at
and before we go, feminism actually addresses a lot. You people don't want like liberation, but look at it this way, right? Most men are committing the most suicide is men in this country. Black men, most suicide. In prison, it's mostly black people, black men, right? In our community, crimes mostly is black men. Who gets the most murdered and everything is black men. And then you say, why? Again, it's the system that you're fighting to maintain. It's the patriarchy. I mean, the same lessons, boys can't cry, therefore they cannot, their mental and emotional well-being is compromised because you have to be tough. You have to grow up to support your family. That burden, that pressure, that financial pressure to like help your family, that also does something for your mental well-being. And a man feels like a failure when he can't provide for his family. So why do people turn to crime? Again, because they need to support and feed their families, and they don't have the education. So all these things that are actually working against men, why men turn to crime, why more men are committing suicide, why more men are depressed today more than women, it boils down to the patriarchy that we are fighting, but you guys want to maintain it. Do you not understand that we actually should be in this together?
But for instance, Maria, and that's a very good point that you're mentioning there. Me as a man, as I sit here, there's my prime focus in my life is to provide, to protect my family.
Yeah.
And if that right or the ability to provide and protect my family
It's going to work on you.
is taken away from me or it's threatened in any which way, it is the worst feeling any man can go through.
Yeah.
And there's no man who sits in the studio or watching the stream that would tell you that they've never been in a position like that where you just you feel completely vulnerable at any given time. Because the first thing and it's something that I always tell my wife and my kids, the first thing that I do if I feel threatened in any which way, I would do anything to protect my wife and my daughter. Those are the two people in my circle, my family circle, that I first want to protect in any which way. And I tell the boys, and I tell the guys, julle moet weet, die vrou en die kinders eerste. And that's just sometimes how my patriarch mindset works.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Women we are weaker than you, like physically, so we do need that protection. I'm not talking about, I'm saying, if for example, people that are having the burden, you don't want your wife, for example, to work. Okay, I'm not saying you could have been an agreement, but I'm saying in a paycheck setup, you moet by die huis play, you moet die kinders oppas, you moet whatever. But this woman, for example, imagine she's empowered enough to like go and also work, then she's also helping the house sustain itself. So you're not having all this financial burden on yourself, that there is a second income coming in because your wife is able to work and provide and not just be at work, but have a conducive environment for it to work and still be a good mother and still be a wife and still earn enough to help and provide for the family. So these are things we're talking about, but like people, you won't see it unless you're like in that situation. Just understand. That's why we're not asking. I don't really think we're asking for equality. We know we're not equal in that sense.
Yeah,
physically, we want equity. This is a big difference.
How
Just
much
give us-
equity do you people want?
Well, for example, if a woman is in the company and a single mother has 3 kids to support, she shouldn't be earning the same as, for example, I'm saying if you have the same qualification, she shouldn't be earning the same as a single man, for example. She should be earning more because she's got 3 mouths extra to feed. So that's equity. Looking at a situation.
Where are these kids' fathers?
Patriarchy, they disappear. They just go. Nobody tracks them down. Niemand worry. So
Alright, guys, let's get
anyway,
out of
let's get out of here. It's
Erasi Ike, yeah, Maria Sobiso, just stay in the kitchen.
I'm actually also good in the kitchen, but okay.
Yeah.
No, but I'm also good in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So,
It's probably the longest show we've had in a while,
we
this one.
have, yeah.
But it is time for us to get out of the studio. Vandaag is wat Woensdag. So Kaufman and Samuel Nakanyala will be joining you 12 to 1 on the hour on Informanté Radio. You can check that out. Go check out the competitions as well. There's always a competition running on that page. So if you want to walk away with something like Regine, who joined us in the studio earlier, thank you for joining us. Then you go check that out. We're out of here. We're back tomorrow. We will be unpacking Maria's.
Every day we bring you the hottest music. Music mix.
Hey, let me tell you something.
They call him Mr. Well Done. Well done. Boozy. Pretty thing and you boozy.
And some outrageous conversations.
You don't even have to go too far. I mean, even today, we have something called traditional healers within all our communities.
Is that like the new name for witch doctors?
No. That's what the white men made it.
You do know that the traditional healers can see us talking about them right now. Right now. In their big bowl of water.
The morning mix on Informanté Radio. The sound for a new age.
As you journey through life towards your retirement goal, build your wealth with Elite Save. Earn 8.5% compound interest on your investment term while choosing when and how you receive your interest returns. It's tailor-made to help you succeed. For more info, SMS Elite Save to 31844 and we will call you back. Underwritten by Trustco Life.
LifeSave guarantees the growth of an individual's savings over a period of time. With guaranteed 8.5% compound interest rates per year, making your money work for you has never been this easy. SMS LifeSave to 31844. LifeSave, underwritten by Trustco Life.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9, Monday to Fridays.
The Morning Mix.